Hello, Snack Pack. Welcome back to Travel Snacks, or if this is your first time, welcome to the channel. Also, Travel Snacks is all about traveling, eating good food, using the resources you have, being kind to one another, and maybe living a different lifestyle than the norm, whether it be living in your car, van, RV, tiny home, or something like that. So welcome to Snack Chat Saturday. How is everybody doing? Hey, Payback. Hey, Grant. How's it going? How is this Saturday treating you? Also, what's the weather like where you're at? What's this little one hair doing? Sorry if I'm looking a little crazy. I've been working on the van this morning and it was very hot outside. It's probably about, I don't even know what temperature it is, but it's in the hundreds. What's the temperature?
It's about 104 degrees outside.
104 degrees. So it's pretty hot today. And this week, I kind of towards the end of the week, I started feeling not very good. And I think it's just because I was standing on a ladder a lot of the times trying to do stuff on the van. And I think I got overheated. I wasn't wearing a hat. And so I was very hot, maybe a little dehydrated. I'm not sure. I've been drinking more water, but yesterday pretty much I just laid in bed and just tried to not overexert myself because I just wasn't feeling good. You know, sometimes your body just feels weak and it's just not good. Hey, Van Life Rocks. 69 degrees would be awesome. I would love it if it was in the 70s, low 70s. Also, if you haven't already, throw a like on this live stream. I have so much to talk about today. I want to jump right in. Let's see. Is everybody doing well, though? Is everybody doing well? Before I just start jumping into my stuff. I'm trying to drink a lot of water. The more water I drink, the more like my skin is feeling so nice, though. I think I mentioned that before. All right, everybody's doing well. First things first. Oh, Van Life Rocks, day 2 at the beach again. I shouldn't even be like jealous because I did spend some time at the beach, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. First things first, the channel hit 3,000 subscribers with a quickness. We were just talking about hitting 2,000 subscribers, and all of a sudden, this past week, we hit 3,000. And now today I looked and we're at 3,370. The channel is growing like faster. And it's just crazy. Hey, Paige, how's it going? I left and I didn't really even post any videos. And we didn't have the live stream last Saturday. And then I came back and the channel had just like grown really quickly, very fast. And it's still going. Like, it's just, I'm like so excited about it. So it's just been great. A lot of new people are coming to the channel and it's just been really awesome. And I love how you guys are welcoming to each other and it's just great. Hey, Sarah, how's it going? You're in Texas. What part of it? Where's Kaufman? Is that more like towards Dallas or more like towards Houston? 88. 88's nice too, though. Anything I think under like 90, but once it starts getting past 90, it's getting hot. Plus, if it's humid, that makes it worse. Hey, Paige. Paige is new. Everybody say hi to Paige and Sarah. Glad to have you. Okay, so also, I just want to say thank you if you are new to the channel and welcome to the Snack Pack. Before we get started, I already said throw a like on it, which is great. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you'll know every time we upload a new video and every time there's a new live stream. Oh, by Dallas. Okay, my son Marcus, he moved to Dallas like 2 months ago, and so far he loves it. So I think that's a great place. Hey, Michelle. How's it going? Everything's going pretty well with me, except for I wasn't feeling great yesterday. But other than that, I feel so much more relaxed, so much better. Also, I always like to mention this at the beginning. YouTube does allow you to make donations with a little $sign. It's not obligated. You don't have to at all. But if you do want to make a donation, just know that YouTube takes 30% of that. If you would like to donate to the snack fund, you can. You can even donate by PayPal or Cash App, and those links are in the description of every one of my videos. But again, not required or anything. I just like to mention that just so you know where your money goes. Okay, let's see. Paige, are you saying 77 degrees? Because that would be great right about now. I would love if it was 77 degrees. All right. Before we get going on what happened while I was away, what's everybody snacking on? This past week, as I was away, I ate a lot of different things. I ended up in a few different locations, one of them being San Diego area. And there's a place that my friend recommended called Pizza Bella, and it's in San Diego. And she got that at her house delivered, but she brought me some because I was out camping, and that they have the best tortellini I've ever had. So if you're ever in the San Diego area, go to a place called Pizza Bella. Their pizza's good too, but their tortellini, so good. But I think I'm at a point where, since I've been eating more plant-based and stuff, now when I do eat like not as healthy things or dairy and stuff like that, I was already lactose intolerant, but now I think my body's like, okay, decide what you're doing, because after I ate the tortellini, my stomach was not in good shape. And same thing happened. I went to Chick-fil-A, which, I haven't really been eating meat, but I had a Chick-fil-A sandwich. And even after that, my stomach wasn't feeling good. So I think it's like my body's like, choose a side. So I've been really more trying to focus on not eating the meat. But it was delicious. The tortellini was like cheese tortellini. And then the Chick-fil-A, obviously chicken. I also was in my old stomping grounds of Carlsbad, and there's a place there called Flippin' Pizza. So good. I had their margarita pizza, and they were so busy. I was so surprised because it was like so many people, and they sell pizza like the pies, but they also sell pizza by the slice. And they were out of a lot of the stuff. So I had a margarita, and then there was one it's called a White Stone, and it had like a white sauce, and it was very good. I did smell a lake, but what have you been doing on your channel? I forgot that I was subscribed. Okay. Sorry, I didn't put my glasses on. I always try to read the comments, but I need to. Okay. Jack Link's pepperoni right now. Okay, pepperoni, that's good. I do like pepperoni. Peanut butter, that's also delicious. I had peanut butter. Actually, no, I had almond butter in my oatmeal this morning, and it was very tasty. What have you been doing for your videos? Do you mean like, how do I edit them, or just like what? I like peanut butter just by the spoonful. It's pretty good. Paige has been having candy. That's basically it, and chips. That sounds delicious as well. Also, well, I'll get to that in a second. But for those of you that have been following the live stream and the channel for a while, especially if you watched my last video, you'll know that my dad cut his thumb tip off on the table saw. And it was disgusting. It looked like so gross, but his thumb is healing up very nicely. Thank you all for the well wishes. It's like kind of scabbed over, and it's starting to like reform a little bit. So that's going very well. The Pacific of the chips, it's been a good chips. The barbecue chips, my favorite chips. I do like barbecue chips. They are very good. Yeah, his thumb was really bad. It was so gross when it first happened. But it's doing a lot better, so that's good. And also that's one of the reasons why I ended up taking a break, because he cut his thumb tip off, and then I just wanted to give him time to heal, and also I just needed a break from everything, because it's been just like a lot of effort and a lot of work for this van build. So we will talk about where I was, what I did, and what happened along the way, because there's a crazy story. What happened when I was taking a break last week. And then we'll do a van update, and I'll take you guys outside to show you what's going on with the van. We have made some really good progress. And then we'll go from there. I know. I was like, where's Fake Freedom? Where's Snow Panther? They forget about me already because I took a week off. I don't know. Although it is a holiday weekend in America. Is it also holiday in Canada? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where everybody is. For those of you that are new to the channel, there's a group of regulars that are usually on the channel. And so it's always like a little family party. And so when they're not here, you're always like, where's everybody? I post videos about travel, about food, and van build and car living and different things like that. Okay, so there's a holiday in Canada and in America. So people could be out just, partying it up. All right, so first things first. So on my I didn't have a snacks chat last Saturday, but the one before it, I let you guys know that I was thinking about taking a break because I was getting to the point where I was just really frustrated with the van build. I was stressing out. I don't like to stress out. Typically I'm pretty calm and stuff, but I felt myself just in being more anxious, and I don't like that feeling. And so I decided to take a break. At the time, I wasn't exactly sure where I was going to go because of the coronavirus is happening. A lot of things are shut down. Also, it's very hot in California. And I didn't really want to leave to another state. I didn't want to spend the money for a plane ticket. I considered it, but I was like, no, because I'm not going to go away that long. And so I wanted to drive somewhere close. And so I was like, also, I didn't really want to drive too far because I'm not trying to put any more miles on my car because I'm trying to sell my car. And so long story short, for this portion of it, I was talking with my mom and dad, and we got on the topic of I was going to see if my younger son, Justin, wanted to go with me on my little getaway just for a few days. And so I decided to ask my parents if I could use their truck and camper, which I've never driven before. I've never used a truck and camper before. So it was definitely new to me. But the reason I asked is because I wanted to take my son, and he has a dog, a husky. And so just going in my car, it was going to be a very tight fit, and it was going to just be kind of crazy. So I decided to see if I could use the truck and camper, which they graciously said yes. And it was kind of exciting because it's kind of like I traveled in my car, then now I'm working on a van, but this truck and camper is a good deal bigger than my van. And so I was like, okay, this is going to be a good way to test out to see what it's going to be a little bit more than living in a car. But this one is definitely bigger. So I kind of surprised my son. I didn't even really tell him. And he lives in downtown LA. So I went to LA and I just parked in a parking lot, and I called him up. I was like, I'm taking you to Northern California or Central California. And he's like, really? Okay. And so I picked him up the next morning. Also that night, I thought I was going to stay in a Walmart parking lot, but they didn't allow that. So luckily, one of my aunts, she lives in the LA area, and she let me park on her driveway, and she gave me a full loaf of homemade banana bread, which was delicious. So thank you. Shout out to my aunt. So I went and picked him up in downtown LA. Now driving this truck and camper is big. It's like a mini RV. And so driving on the streets of downtown, it was kind of crazy. So I was like, just be ready outside of your apartment, have your dog ready. And I'm just going to pull up, open the door, and you just jump in, and then we'll keep going. We'll figure out from there. So it definitely was a crazy thing to be driving that big thing. And I've never really driven it before. I've driven it locally, just short distances, but just driving on the freeway, it's pretty wide. And so I had to learn how to stay in the two white lines because I was going over like even just a couple inches, people were like honking. And so it was definitely something to get used to. So that was interesting as well. Yeah, it's 111, 112 degrees at my hometown this weekend. So I decided to hit the beach for 4 days. Oh, that's so luxurious. Hey, Snow Panther, welcome. Good to see you. We were wondering where you were. So once I had driven all the way to LA, like I already knew that the truck and camper doesn't have the greatest gas mileage, but I was like wishful thinking, I suppose. So the first time I had to fill up, it was like $70. And I was like, we haven't even gone anywhere yet. So I was like, dang, this is going to be an expensive trip. So I had kind of decided to go to like the Mammoth Lakes area, but I also wanted to go to the Sequoias. And so I really wasn't sure 100% where we were going to go. I just know I wanted to go to somewhere like peaceful and more like green and more nature. So we were driving and I kind of just on a whim was like, as we were getting to the part where you have to make a decision which direction, and I was like, I really want to go to the Sequoias because I really haven't been there before. I want to see the big giant trees. And then I was thinking that maybe the next day we could go to like Mammoth Lakes, which is just like lakes. But my son, he also does music and he does YouTube, and he had a song releasing the next day. And so he was like, well, I can't stay that many days. And I was like, oh, we probably should have planned this a little bit better. So we got to the Sequoias and we entered the park. It was, I think it was like $35 to enter the park, and they didn't have any camping available, like no overnight, because all the camping locations were either full or closed. So we knew we couldn't like park and stay overnight in the actual like national park, but we decided to go and just look at the Sequoias. And there's a tree there called General Sherman tree. And it's just like one of those big giant sequoia trees that you can actually just like some of them you can actually like walk through, but this particular one you can't, but you can take a picture with it. So we decided to just drive up there. Now, there were signs posted that says if you are driving in a vehicle that's longer than 22 feet, we don't recommend it, but I didn't know the length. And so I was like, I'm going to be adventurous and we're just going to go, because where this is in the Sequoias is like a very curvy mountain going all the way up, up, up. And we got up to like, I think 6,000 feet elevation. So it maybe wasn't the smartest idea because we were in a big vehicle, but I don't know, but we made it. We didn't, get into any trouble. Hey, Fake Freedom, glad to see you. We were wondering where you were. Hey, Daniel from Chicago. How's the weather in Chicago right now? Is it super hot or getting cold finally? So we went up all the way to the Sequoias, like all the way to the 6,000 elevation. Are you camping? I'm talking about what I was doing while I was away. So we went up to the Sequoia National Park, and so we kind of just went up there, parked. We climbed up like this wooded area. Hey, Monique, good to see you. Glad you're here. We drove up and we parked, and then we went up to this like wooded area, and we just kind of hiked up a little bit, and just let my son's dog run around, and we were just kind of up like a little bit high up on the mountain, and we were just standing there, and then we just heard and we were like pretty much the only people out there. It was quiet nature. And then we heard something in the woods, and we were like, I think it's time to go because there's bears and we're not trying to do that. Although that would make for a really great video, but not if we got eaten, because that'd be very bad. Weather is perfect, starting to change to fall. Oh, that's awesome. I'm hoping it starts to turn. We had a few cooler days that I thought it was going to start turning to fall, but it's not. Oh, maybe it was Bigfoot. I don't know. It could have been. It was like a weird sound too. It was like not just like, it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It sounded almost like a 2-liter bottle hitting a rock, but there was nobody up there. It was like a 2-liter plastic bottle. So we were just like, okay, we're done. So we bears, we were in the Sequoia National Forest in, I guess it's Central California. So we just ended up hiking back down. And then I wanted to go to the General Sherman tree. But you have to kind of walk like about, I don't know, quarter of a mile. I don't really know exactly, but it wasn't super far. But my son didn't want to really go because there was signs saying no dogs allowed. I saw little dogs though, but he has a husky. And so he's like, I'm just going to stay in the camper and wait for you. And so I kind of just like walked down to the tree, took some pictures, and then walked back. There was a good deal of people out, but it wasn't super crowded, so that was good. Hey Oscar, how's it going? So we did that, and then we were like, and then my my son was like, okay, I really have to like post my, like, because when you're a content creator, you can't, it's not that you just post your content, you're always like letting people know like the song's coming or your content's coming. You got to do social media. And so there was no Wi-Fi connection up in the woods. There was like nothing. You couldn't get a connection at all. So he was getting like a little nervous about not being able to like connect with his audience. So we ended up leaving the park, going down to like the smallest town, really small, so he can get a connection. And with the truck and camper being so big and nothing really being open, no restaurants, you can only go through drive-throughs, but that truck and camper can't go through a drive-through. So we were like, let's just go to McDonald's, but they didn't allow you to go in. So an employee was walking out of McDonald's. And so I was like, hey, so like, can we come in and order at the counter? Because we have a truck and camper. She's like, no, like what you can do is just walk through the drive-through. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, just walk. We have people doing that, like that don't have a car or can't just walk through the drive-through. I was like, that's weird. So my son stayed in the car with his dog, and I like literally stood behind a car and like went up to the little microphone thing and I ordered, and then I would just like walk up behind that car, and the car in front of me was like, what is this lady doing? And also the people behind me were like, should you be doing that? They didn't say anything, but I could tell that their looks were crazy. And that happened 2 other times on this trip. I walked through 3 different fast foods. So if you find yourself that you can't go into a drive-through for whatever reason, you can walk. I know in the past they had signs that say no walkthroughs, but I guess they're putting that on pause for COVID so that people can get their food. You should have made a vroom vroom sound. Beep beep, excuse me, move forward. That would have been funny. I was like at first I was just like, this is just so weird. And one of the times we stopped at Jack in the Box, I was trying not to eat fast food, but there's just certain times where you just need to get something quickly. And so we parked and I went through the drive-through, and like there was a guy ahead of me walking through too. He ordered, and the guy was like, okay, stand to the side and let the other cars go through, and then we'll call you when. It was like so weird. It was just like the weirdest thing. Okay, so at that point we were in like, it was getting dark. So we were like, okay, well, we're just gonna have to find somewhere to park and sleep for the night. So our bright idea was to go to a rest area, a rest stop. Hey, let me take a pause for my friend Grant throwing up the $10. Thank you so much. That is so helpful. Let's get you a party sound.
Yes.
Oh, that wasn't it, but hold on. Woohoo! Thank you so much. That is super helpful. Thank you for donating to the snack fund. It is truly, truly appreciated. Okay, so we get to this rest area. It's in a town called Tulare, Tulure. You like the whistle one? I like it too. It's called Samba Whistle. Samba Whistle. So we get to this rest area. It's either in a town called Tipton or Tulare. But anyways, so we get there. Now, remember I had said that the first thought was they were going to go to Mammoth Lakes, but we ended up kind of going to Sequoias instead. Okay, so when we left the Sequoias, because there was no camping, there was nowhere for us to go, we decided to come down off of the like wooded area into like the regular town, and we got to a rest stop. And it said no overnight parking, but you could tell that it wasn't like patrolled. There was lots of big rigs there, and you could park there. We were not worried about staying overnight. But it was 90 degrees and like humid. And so we were like, oh my gosh, it is so hot. And so we parked and we went into the camper, because the truck and camper, it's all in one, but you have to get out of the truck and go to the back and unlock it and go into the camper. It was like a steam sauna in the truck and in the camper. And so I was like, what are we going to do? We were literally sitting in there for like 5 minutes, and we were just like pouring sweat. And he has a dog like this. The dog was just like panting so bad. And it was only like, I don't know, maybe like 7:30 or 8 at this time. We're like, what are we going to do? Because it's so hot. It was just so hot. And like we opened all the windows in the camper, but it was just like one of those things where you just know you're roasting. Quick question, whose camper did you guys have? Oh, my mom and dad allowed me to take their truck and camper, which is the first time I've ever used it. So it was really great. And it's kind of spacious inside of there. It's just like, I wish I had a picture of it. When I go outside to show you the van, I'll show it to you. It's like a big Ford, I think 350 or two, I don't know, Ford big truck, and then like a camper shell like on the back. And it's got a full kitchen, bathroom, shower, queen size bed, everything. It's nice. But it has an air conditioner, but you would need to plug in order to use the AC. So we're sitting there and we're just like, this is bad news because it's just so hot. Background here. Okay, good. You guys have probably seen it in some of the videos, but so we decide, okay, like let's go sit in the truck part and put the AC on until we're ready for bed. So we did that for quite a while, and we just sat there and talked and just hung out. But I was just like, okay, we can't sit in here forever because like obviously we're going to either run out of gas or the battery or something. So we're going to have to just like suck it up and just do whatever. So we sat there for a long time. We got out, we go back in the camper, and I was just like, okay, this is, I'm a kind of person that like, I can tough things out. Like I can, like suck it up basically. And I was like, if it was me by myself, I would probably do that. But at this point, it was actually to the point where it was very like suffocating in that camper. I was like, this is probably dangerous. And especially with the dog, like that dog was like, I felt bad for the dog. And so I was like, okay, I think we need to call it. We need to just go get a hotel because it's going to be bad. Oh, because we looked for campgrounds nearby, like any campground that we could go plug in to use the AC. And no, there was 0 campgrounds available. Like we were even willing to spend a little more money. There was just no campgrounds. And so hot for a husky. Yeah. Like I felt bad. I was just like, no. There was no campgrounds available anywhere within like an hour's drive. And so we were like, let's just get like a Motel 6. And so that's just going to be what it's going to be. So we packed the camper back up, lock it up, go in the truck, go to start the truck. Doesn't work. Like doesn't even turn over. And it's just like so hot. And I'm like, what's happening? And I thought at first that because we sat in the parking lot with the AC going for so long, that maybe I had run the gas out. But I couldn't, because like when I turned it on, I couldn't even get it to turn on. So I couldn't see the gas gauge, and the gas was empty, but I didn't know that like I couldn't even turn the car on so that it could go up. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is bad. So like basically I think we ran out of gas. So I contacted AAA, told them to bring us gas. And before I called AAA, I have my portable jump starter, which if you've seen some of my videos, I've talked about this portable jump starter that I have. And so I decided to try to jump the truck, which I've used before for this truck for my dad. And it didn't work. And it's worked before. And so I was like, okay, maybe I didn't have it connected properly. Let's try it again. Try to jump it a second time and it didn't work. And so I was like, shoot, maybe it is the gas. So I called AAA. We waited for, I forget how long, like 45 minutes, maybe an hour for the guy. And we had water because in the camper, there's a fridge and it can run off of propane or the battery or solar. So it was running off of propane. So we had a fridge full of cold water. So we got the dog a a dish with cold water. We drank a bunch of cold water, but it was just so hot and sweaty. So finally the AAA guy comes. It's very dark. It's probably like 9:30 by then. Super dark outside. And he puts the gas in. He says, go ahead and start it. It won't start. So he's like, well, let me give you a jump because maybe it needs to, maybe you like got the gas down so low that it won't start. So he jump starts it and it starts. Cool. But as the time we were waiting, my son called and made the reservation for the nearest Motel 6. So the truck is started. And so the AAA guy doesn't barely say anything. He wasn't super friendly. He barely said anything to us. He didn't even have me sign anything. He just like took off. And so also it was very windy too. So it was like loud to hear each other. So like we take off kind of behind him and the truck is just like jutting forward. It wasn't even barely moving. And I'm like, oh no, this is bad because now we have gas and he had jump started us, but it's not running very well. And the Motel 6 was a couple miles away on the freeway. So we first decided to go straight to a gas station. So we go to the gas station so I could put like full on gas in there. So put full gas in. I'm like, this should do it. So we start driving again and it's just like barely like going forward. And I'm like, are we going to even make it to Motel 6? Or are we going to have to call AAA again? So we basically we made it to the exit to get to Motel 6 and just drove straight into the parking lot, backed it into a space, turned the truck off, and then it just stopped. So we did make it to the Motel 6. This was like probably like by this time it was, I don't even know what time it was. There was a loud bird outside of my window. Hello. Oh, you have a husky? I have a husky mixed shepherd. She loves cold. So I am in the right state for her. Oh, that's good. It's a loud bluebird. I'm gonna go clap my hands. Sheesh. Hopefully that's better. Oh no, I don't have a bird. It was like the bird, just like a bird outside of my window, just like perched up on this little thing. Okay, so we get to the Motel 6. We were so hot and sweaty. We just like took cold showers and like we had 2 beds and the dog just slept on his bed and we just like had a great night's sleep. But my son at that point, he was like, I really need to get back home the next day. Like he decided he didn't want to go to Mammoth Lakes after all. It's like kind of too much drama with just the truck and camper. And he was kind of like, he really needed to get back to like release his song and stuff like that. So we decided to get up and I was like, well, I don't know if the truck's going to work. So we went out there, we tried to start the truck. Totally did not work. So then I had to call AAA again. That guy was very nice. And so they tested the battery and lo and behold, it was the battery. The battery had seen better days. So it was time to replace the battery. So I called my parents and I was like, sorry to be a bearer of bad news, but you need a new battery on this truck. So AAA put a new battery. And once they put the new battery, it started up like a quick start and it was perfect and it was running great. But then like that whole process took so long that like we didn't even get on the road until like close to noon. And so we had to get back and we were like 5 hours from Los Angeles. So then we had to drive back and it was just like a whole longest thing. This is weird weather. Like it just, this morning when we were having coffee on the patio, there was like so many birds and hummingbirds and flying things just all around. and it was just really eerie. And now the like sun is getting dark and light. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was a total adventure. It was a total adventure. So at that point, I knew I had to drop my son off in downtown again. So I was like, well, I really wanted to go to Mammoth Lakes, but I'm not going to. First of all, I was spending so much money in gas also. It was like $70 to $80 every time I was filling up. And at this point, I had already spent like over $200. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to drop him off, then go back up to Mammoth Lakes. So where am I going to go? So I dropped him off and then went and parked. And then I'm just like, okay, what are you doing with yourself? So I decided to go to somewhere that I know, which is the San Diego area, because I lived there before. And I was like, okay, it's not like the forest, which I really wanted to be more closer to like the forest green and stuff. But at the beach, you know, I love the beach. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to drive over to Carlsbad or Oceanside and just to stay there for a few days. So that's like another 2 hours drive. So I went over there, found a lovely parking spot that night, and it was fine. And it was a lot cool. Oh, because I was trying to also find somewhere that was a lot cooler. And the beach was like in the 70s instead of the 90s. So I finally went to the beach, found a lovely parking spot. Then the next day I went to the beach, and it was great. So it was nice. I was like finally getting a chance to relax. Sounds like a bummer trip. That's how I was feeling. I was like, okay, I wanted to take a break so that I could relax, but it was just like a little extra stress. So I got to the beach and I was like, okay, cool. This is so nice, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be great. And so I did get a chance to like kind of just relax for one day. And then like, let's see, what day was that? I forget what day it was. Bears Battery Beach. Okay. So I forget what day it was because now it's all a blur, but it was only like one day and everything was working great. But then like it was one morning, I had my coffee and breakfast, did the little dishes because there's a sink in there and then there's a separate bathroom. Did the dishes. Then in the afternoon, I go to use the bathroom, which it's hard to, because you guys can't see inside of it. But I go into it's like you open it and there's a bathroom with like a built up little platform for your feet because you can also take a shower in there. And the whole basin for the shower compartment is just like full of water. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, this is bad. And so I called my dad. I'm like, the like basin where you put your feet for the toilet is flooded. He's like, oh, that's happened to us before. I don't know what the problem is. And I was just like, oh boy. So I was like, well, how do you resolve that? And he's like, I think you're going to have to like get like a bowl or a cup and like take the water and scoop it and like pour it into the little porta potty toilet. So I was just like, okay, this is getting crazy. And so I spent like a bunch of time like scooping water. Finally got it cleaned out enough, toweled it dry. I went to try the sink again, and as soon as I turned the sink on, maybe within like 5 minutes, it started to bubble the water back up into the floor basin again. So then I was like, okay. Then problem is, once I scooped all that water into the toilet, then the toilet was like full. So then I went to the bathroom and it wouldn't flush down. So then I couldn't even use the toilet anymore. So then at that point, I was supposed to be gone for like 3 more days. And I kind of just felt defeated at that point. I was like, okay, well, if I can't use the sink and I can't use the toilet, then this is kind of like being back in my car. But this is worse because of COVID, I can't even go to Planet Fitness. All the California Planet Fitnesses are closed. I can't go take a shower. I can't do dishes and I can't go to the bathroom. And this sucks. So I ended up coming back home. I think it was last Monday. I was supposed to be gone for a few days longer. Maybe it was Sunday. I can't remember now. I think it was Sunday I came home. So all in all, it was supposed to be a relaxing trip, but a lot of things went wrong. But I like to think of the positives. And the positive news is I'm going to make a video about this. It really showed me a lot. Like, I know that a camper is not a van, but it helped me to see things possibly different than living in a car. but living more of in a bigger vehicle. So I'm going to make a like a camper, truck and camper versus van video. And I'm going to show you all the things in that video that I learned, things that I wrote, like, is it this notebook? I don't know. I have my notes somewhere because I took a bunch of notes along the way, but it's basically like things that were better about the camper, things that are going to be better about the van, and vice versa. And also things that I never really didn't consider that I will need for the van, because it's not a car. But it's also not a camper. So it turned out to be good because I learned a lot, and I think it'll be useful when I do get my van done. So I ended up coming back. Oh yeah, that was Sunday. I came back last Sunday. And so I ended up coming back, and then I took Monday off to just edit the video that I posted. And then we got back to work on the van, and until I didn't feel good Thursday night. So it's just constant. It's just constant. So were you able to figure out what the problem was? No. So like my dad's been trying to figure out like what is the problem, because I think he said that's like either a 16 or like 20-gallon water tank. It wasn't overflowing. Like, I don't know. He doesn't know. So he's trying to figure it out himself, but if not, he's probably gonna have to take it into one of the RV repairs, because that's happened to them when they went camping before. And what's weird is like it worked for a few days. So I don't know what the problem was. So line bypass, I'll mention that to my dad. So I'm not really sure. But everything else worked well. The fridge worked well. I was able to cook, which is so great, which like made me happy because I was like, I'll be able to cook in my van, and I'll have a little sinks, like wash dishes. But there's like a lot of things that I learned along the way. So it'll be very interesting. And it was a very good perspective. And I got to spend time with my son. And so it turned out really good. A pinch line or clog. Maybe, yeah, like, I know this is going to sound gross, but like here in the desert, we have a lot of like mice and rats that get into engines. I talked about this before, and they eat the wires and they eat things. So like maybe a little mouse or something got clogged into the water line, or like did something with it. That'd be disgusting, but that's desert life. All right, so that's pretty much what happened while I was away. So it wasn't as peaceful and relaxing as I thought it was going to be, but I still am glad that I did it, because now that I'm back, I feel like I'm a lot more calm. I'm just more going with the flow of the timeline of the van. I'm just trying to go with the flow, and we're making some good progress, which is a good segue into the van update. And I want to show you guys what's happening on the van. I think the last snack chat Saturday we had, I was I think somebody was going to come to look at the bench seat that I took out of the van, and those people did come and they did buy it. So that was like awesome, because that added to help me to buy some things for the van. So I'm glad that they bought the bench seat. In terms of my, for those of you that watch the live streams, you know that I was waiting on a Max Air fan for the roof of the van, and it took over a month to receive it. And then when I received it, it was the wrong one. It was the wrong color. I contacted them like 2 weeks ago, Camping World. I bought it from Camping World, and they still haven't gotten back to me. So I sent another message again today, and I still haven't heard back from them. So I think I'm going to end up having to call. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's the update there. I'm glad you were able to get away, relax, and recharge. Yes. I mean, all in all, still just getting out of the desert and taking a breath, it was definitely awesome. Crazy trip, and indeed you have learned. I think you will be prepared for such things as you go out in your own camper. For sure. I think so too. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go outside. If you guys want to see the van, give me a thumbs up. Or if you guys have anything else to talk about before we do that. Just look at my notes while you guys let me know if you guys want to see what's going on with the van. Also, I ordered and received the solenoid, and a solenoid, I think I've talked about it, but maybe not. A solenoid is this little circle thing that you put in your engine, and it connects your car or your van battery to your, they call it a house battery, or your, it's called a house battery. I forget. I think it's called a house battery in the back of your van. And so when you're driving, that solenoid allows it to charge your house battery so that it kind of stays full. So you don't only have to depend on your solar. So I received that. It was supposed to be $20, but it was $40 because everyone is sold out and people are jacking up their prices. But I had to have it. So, all right, let me put my flip-flops on. And welcome to Victor. Hey, Victor. And hey, Sania, how's it going? Hey, Chris, how's it going? West Springfield Auto Parts for all your auto parts need. Ooh, all right. That's good to know. All right, hold on. Let me get my shoes. Also, before I go outside, for those of you that have been on the live streams, you already know this, but for those of you that are new, sometimes when I go outside, the internet kind of like drops. I did reset the extender before this live stream, so it should be good to go. If we do get like cut off or it pauses, just hang with me and I'll type into the chat what's happening. If we happen to get cut off all the way, I will start a new live stream, so I won't just like leave you hanging. So that bird will be waiting. Hey, Carmen. I want to shout out Carmen because she donated to the snack fund outside of the live stream. And I truly appreciate that, Carmen. And I don't know if you know Carmen, but when anyone donates to the snack fund, I give them a shout out and I give them a little sound thing because it's just fun. So let's do drum. That's a hallelujah. So thank you so much, Carmen. I truly appreciate the donation to the snack fund. It is truly appreciated. All right. All right, let's do this. Let me take my phone. Whoa, I hit the explosion sound on the way out. P.S. My room is still not clean. I don't think it's gonna be clean until I'm ready to start putting things into my van because it's just too much stuff. All right, here we go. You want the map, Fake Freedom? If I can figure out a way to send it to you, send me your address. All right. All right, first things first, let's just see how it goes. It's hot. It's 100 and... First, I don't want to get too far out here, but there's the truck and camper. See how it's big? Like, definitely big and wide. And definitely different than driving in a car or a van. All right, so. Uh-oh. Okay, we're back. Okay, we're good. All right, awesome. Okay, so here's what's happening with the van. It's taped off because guess what? We finally started fiberglassing. Like, this is a miracle of the Lord Jesus Christ. First of all, I foamed up all the back. You could see that I foamed it up once already, and then this morning I like foamed in the rest of like where there was like gaps or openings. This is what the fiberglass looks like. I don't want to, what they call it fiberglass because it's little shards of glass weaved into this cloth. You can see, like, it's hard to see. You won't be able to see it, but it's like little glass pieces. So one side is shiny. You can't really tell. Maybe. And this side is not as shiny, but it's like weaved in. But you definitely want to wear gloves and stuff because it's like very itchy. But we have it all taped off because you have to use resin, which I'll show you in a second. And we have it like lifted up right now. So I can't even reach it to touch it, but it's like to the touch, it's very like, you can knock on it and it's like very hard, like a boat. Like a lot of boats are made out of fiberglass. Maybe all, but I don't know. Let me see if I can show you on this side. So we've done 2 layers on that other side, and we did 2 layers right here, and then we still have to do the second layer here. And when I go back inside, I'll explain to you why, because it's hot out here, and I can't even get in here to show you. Oh, but here's the front too. I foamed up the front, and you can see it's got more of a slope now instead of it being straight up and down. And so I have to go through again and like sculpt it out a little bit, which is, it's a hard job. And that's probably why I didn't feel well, because it's very physical to try to like shave everything down. Let's see, let me show you. So this is, gross. This is the fiberglass resin. It's like, it smells so bad. And then you pour that resin into a bucket like this, which you're not really supposed to reuse it, but we keep kind of reusing this one. We have a bunch of little buckets. Then you take this stuff and this is a hardener. So you drop like however many drops you need. It's 10 drops per ounce. So if you do 4 ounces, that's 40 drops. And you got to count them out. And then you stir it, and you only have between 8 to 12 minutes to use that before it starts hardening up. And it smells, and you need to wear gloves and masks. And you could see like, oh, and then you can only use the brush like maybe a few times before it hardens. Like this is just like totally hard as a rock. Everything is stuck. Yeah, everything is stuck to it because it's just like hard as a rock now. But let's see. Oh, there's one other exciting thing I want to show you. If you've watched this channel for a while and you've watched the live streams, you'll know that I was trying to figure out if I was going to keep the AC in the back, the AC and the heater. And we were trying to figure out how we we're going to remove this thing. Guess what? We removed the AC and heater. So now we just have to figure out how to recharge the front AC and heater so that it will work. And that looks like this. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna go back in. It's hot, and my computer is hot just even for these few minutes. All right. Good thing we stayed connected most of that time. That makes me very happy. Okay. Let me look at the comments. Oh, it's getting cooler there? Oh, that is awesome. I thought it was getting cooler, and I hope it starts to. Okay, so what was I going to tell you? I said I'm going to tell you about something when I got back in the house. So basically, the way that the fiberglassing works is you have to mix that resin in a container, like the bucket I showed you, paint it on the surface. So in this case, the sides are wood, and the front and the back is going to be foam, obviously. And so you paint it first so that it impregnates the surface. That's what they call it. And then you put the cloth on it, and then you like paint the resin on. But it's drips everywhere, and if you get it on your arm or anywhere, it burns. I didn't know that, but it like you could. I don't know if you could see, but I have like all these burn marks and dirt and stuff because I wear gloves, but it like drips on my arm, and it's so hot. I thought I was gonna wear long sleeve shirts to do this, but it's just too hot. So after we do each section, then I just run in the house and like wash my arms and stuff. And we've been going through a lot of those little blue gloves. And it's just like crazy because you have to cut the strips and put it on and like fill it in nicely. And then once all that's wrapped, which that I'm like praying that it gets done tomorrow, then we'll have to go through and sand everything down so that it's like even and smooth. I don't know if it's going to end up being like a beautiful, smooth thing because we're just not professionals and we've done the best we can, but it's very solid and secure. The roof is fine. It's on there fine, but I don't know that it's going to be pretty. And then the other thing I was thinking is like, I'm not ready to paint the van yet, but we're going to have to like do something about the very top of the roof because when we put the solar and the fan in, we're not going to be able to like spray, like have it sprayed with paint because there's going to be stuff there. So I think we're going to end up just putting like a white layer of paint on the top of the van after we finish sanding down the fiberglass. So I don't know. The sanding won't happen tomorrow, but at least we're going to really try to get all the strips of fiberglass all the way around. And I'm really glad we got that AC out because that was like taking up space. But once this roof part is done, we can start focusing on the inside. And I think the next step is going to be the floor. Like, can you guys feel how excited I am about moving on from this roof? It's like, I can't even with it. I've just like beyond over working on this roof. So just even the thought of working on the floor is like a dream come true. So I do need some supplies for the floor that I don't know that I could get at like Home Depot. So I don't know what's going to happen yet, but tomorrow night or evening, afternoon, I'm going to start like trying to figure out where I can get some of the supplies that I need for the floor. So that's pretty much the update in terms of like what's happening on the van. A flower girl, Fowler girl. Hey, how's it going? It's hot up here in BC, Canada. Hopefully it's not too hot because it's just like really, it's very hot here. My arms. I know. And the thing is like, I'm okay with like, I don't mind if I have like, you know, little marks and stuff. But yesterday or the day before yesterday, Thursday, I was up there on that ladder in like over 100 degrees. And I was like using this, like, it looks like a cheese grater or like and there's like different tools, like filing tools. And I was up there, like, just like filing down the foam, like trying to make it curve and stuff. And just like standing in the direct heat, just like busting my arms like this. My arms felt like jello. I was getting a good workout, but also I think I just overexerted myself. So it's crazy. It looks awesome. Stay inside. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think today, after this, I'm just staying in. Po Body's Nerfect. Oh, nobody's. Took me a minute. That's true. That is true. My van is definitely going to have, it's going to have some character. I want to tell you guys a little thing. I don't think this is going to be the actual name of the van, but I wanted to share this funny thing that I thought of. So I should have showed you when I was outside, but the van roof, it leans like this a little bit. If you stand in front of it, you'll see it. It's definitely leans. It's secure, but it leans. And so I was thinking about like the middle name for my van is going to be Eileen, but I think my van is a boy, but I was thinking that I would call it Eileen, which I think is pretty funny. All right. I don't think you need to be professionals. I recall do this to our boats at cottage. Love lots of sanding and dusting between layers. You're good. You'll do it. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I think it's just like tedious work. It's just like, you do it and then you feel it and make sure you look at it and then you're like, oh, maybe we could do a little more and just move more layers it's just like you gotta put a lot of efforts into doing it. But once it's done, then you're good to go. So I'll be so happy when the roof is just completely done and I'll never have to worry about it again. All right. You guys like that name? I keep thinking of different names for the van and nothing's hit me yet. Nothing's yes, that's the name. I know it's going to be the Snackmobile, but I kind of want to give it a name, so-and-so the Snackmobile. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I don't know. I've thought of a lot of different things, but I don't know. I got to get a vibe. I got to get it's got to come to me. And I keep some people keep saying, no, I feel like it's got needs a girl name because of the inside's going to probably be a little bit more feminine and the outside's probably gonna be a little more masculine. So I don't really know. I'm probably overthinking it, but I think it'll just come to me. But I think Eileen is pretty funny and that's going to be the middle name. Maybe it will be the name. I don't know. All right. So I think those are all the updates that I have. Sandy the Snackmobile. That's cute. That is cute. Maybe I'll have people submit, but the only thing is I'm thinking about doing that where everybody can just put in all their ideas. But if I don't choose any of them, don't feel bad because I am particular about the name. I don't know why, but I think it'd be fun because there's a lot of things that I don't even think about. So maybe you guys will have some good things. So as it gets closer to it being done, I'll probably put out a thing and we'll just do a little something about it. All right. So that's pretty much all I have. Slandy. Do you guys have anything that you want to share? Anything exciting? I'm trying to think. I feel like there's so much that's happened. Missing 1 week of Snack Chat, it felt like forever not talking to you guys. I was like, wow, that seems like a really long time. But I'm glad I'm back. I missed you guys, and I'm glad that we're back on Snack Chat Saturday. So that's all I have. But if you guys want to play another round of Would You Rather, give me a thumbs up because I do have some Would You Rather questions, and I think they're pretty good ones today. They're different. They're different than some of the ones we've done before, so I think they'll be good. I'm trying to look around my room to see if there's anything that I've forgot to mention. I don't know. I think that's all I have. There's a lot of things on my mind, which I'd like to share, but I can't remember all of them. Okay. Yes, you are an inspiration. Oh, thank you so much. I'm learning to treat myself now. Good. You should definitely treat yourself. Oh, I miss you guys. Thank you for missing me too. Thanks for the last however long that was. I'm doing lots of rehabilitation on rooms for my mom and sis, painting her pictures. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's sometimes that's very peaceful and therapeutic to be working on stuff, especially for other people too. That's very good. All right. So, you guys ready to do the Would You Rather game? Put my glasses back on for this. I'm trying to think of which one we're going to do first. All right, we'll do this one first because I think this is going to be kind of an easy one. And I think I know what most of you are going to choose. And I think you guys are going to know which one I would choose. But you never know. Okay, so say you were at a bar/restaurant and it's closing time. But after everybody's gone, you're the person that remains in the bar restaurant. So you have to either finish all the half drinked, half, what would that be? Half drunk drinks? I think I've lost my mind a little bit. Half drank drinks. So you have to either finish all the half drank drinks, which is like alcohol, sodas, everything, or all the half finished food. Which one would you rather? Food or drinks? Drunken, half drunken? That's a weird thing to say. Half drunken drinks or half drank drinks? All right, so would you rather have to finish all the leftover drinks or all the leftover food? All right, Chris is coming in with drinks. Really? Okay. And let me know why. Like why you guys choose these answers, because it might not be super obvious to me. Like I might just have something in my mind and like never thought of it, or same thing with everybody else on the chat. You might not have thought about it. Okay, Fake Freedom would rather eat all the remaining food. Okay, van life is drinks, food you can take with you. Okay. I drink the drinks. Hopefully they're alcoholic, and alcohol kills the germs. All right. Alcohol kills germs. That's true. Fake Freedom, I do not drink alcohol. Okay. Victor says food. Anyone else? If you've already answered, you could let me know what you think I would choose. Do you think I would rather drink the remaining drinks in the bar restaurant or eat the remaining food in the bar restaurant? And Monique would do the drinks. Grant thinks I'll choose food. Chris thinks I'll choose drinks. Fake Freedom thinks I'll do food. Monique thinks I'll do food. Flower Girl, I'd sample the food. The food would probably be cold though. You make a good point there. Van Life thinks I'd pick drinks. That was not a subliminal message. I was just drinking some water. All right, has everybody answered that wants to answer? All right, so I don't drink alcohol, so I'm with Fake Freedom. So I think that'd be terrible for me if I chose drinks, because at a bar restaurant, there's probably going to be a lot of like little beer remainders or little like cocktail remainders, and I would probably get drunk in like half. Like I would probably get drunk. I'm like such a lightweight with alcohol. I'd probably get drunk off of like this much beer. That's how bad it is. And yeah, if you know and you watch this channel and these live streams, you'll know that I don't really drink. It's not that I don't ever drink, but I'd say, well, this year for sure I haven't drank at all, like not even once. Last year I probably drank like 4 or 5 times the whole year. I just don't really enjoy alcohol, and every once in a while, like if I'm with friends, I might partake, but as the years go, like I enjoy it less and less, and it's just not a priority for me. And it's to me, it's not enjoyable. I'm already fun without alcohol. So that's that. Yeah, that's what Monique knows too. Yeah, so plus I love food, but I think somebody said it was gonna be cold. That makes a good point. Because it depends on what it is. Because I could imagine it being like half-eaten burgers and fries, which that's kind of gross. If it was, we've talked about this, but if it's like half-eaten pizza's good cold. But like, I don't know. There could be some weird thing, but it's usually like bar food would be like potato skins, nachos, little slider burgers, onion rings. Those things I think you could probably get okay with cold, but you're right. It wouldn't be like the best food, but plus you'd get so full if you had so many little mini bites left. And some people get drunk and drink and they just leave their food. So you'd probably be very full, but I still think I'd pick food. Okay, as long as I can run to the restroom, I would drink. Hey, that's true. I prefer caffeine over alcohol. Me too. I enjoy my coffee. Although, and I do drink sodas every once in a while, but not too much. Fries live for a while. Yeah, they do. If I liked what I sampled, I'd come back and order it. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. Yeah, you could like it'd be like a sampler. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, be like, well, next time I'll come here and I'll try this because I already had it. All right. You guys ready for the next one? Okay, this is a good one. Okay, this is for the rest of your life. So the choice is sampler with other people's saliva residue. Ew, that's true. Maybe you could like cut off like the bite part of it. I don't know if that's cheating the system, but that would be kind of gross. Or if somebody had like, I don't know what. Like if somebody had like a cold sore that was like an active pus or so, that'd be so gross. But that is cheating. So, okay, you're right. All right. So this next thing is for the rest of your life. You have to either have neon green hair forever. Your hair would just be neon green, or you could have only one eyebrow. Not like a unibrow, but like just one eyebrow. So one eyebrow would be missing for the rest of your life. Or you could have both eyebrows, but your hair would be constant, like neon green forever. You could never dye it another color. You can never change it. It's just always going to be green. So which one would you rather? Neon green hair for life or one eyebrow for life? Imagining lipstick on the butt. Oh, ew. I hate that. I hate that when you are at a restaurant and you go to take a drink and you see someone's like faint lipstick, like they didn't clean the glasses. That is actually really gross. Yeah, same for the drinks though. Or if you had drinks out of someone's straw. Ew, no, I don't want that. But you're right. If I saw someone's lipstick on a bun, that'd ruin it. All right, so far we got Fake Freedom coming in with the neon green hair. Well, green is your favorite color. All right, well, that works. Grant with the one eyebrow. I could always pencil one on. All right, so we got one for one. Come on, we have like 15 people on here. Monique, one eyebrow. I could always draw on the other hand. Yep. Makes sense. I don't know. Like this is, for me, it's like hard because you can pencil it on, but would you want to do that every day? But also I don't want to have green hair the rest of my life. Like I think it'd be fun to do it. I don't mind doing green hair, but like forever. I could be like 90 years old and just having like green hair. It'd be like kind of like the Wicked Witch or something. Or shave the other one off. That makes sense. Van Life Rocks coming in with the eyebrow. Carmen with untouched food, maybe. Yeah. Fake Freedom. I used to be a punk and had some wild hair mohawks and stuff. Oh, that's cool. Flower Girl, one eyebrow and draw the other one on, or tweeze it off and tattoo new ones. Good point. Good point. Let's take a consensus. Is tattooing one on cheating this question, or could you do it? I did that too. I had my eyebrows in real life. I had microbladed. I did that microblading thing. And I'm glad did it, but also now that I've had it done for like over maybe it's like 2 years now, I don't know because like if I were to shave my eyebrow off now, it'd be like just like one of those tattoos that just like fades into each other. So like the little wisps have kind of like made it into like one kind of brown, like light brown shade. And I didn't know that that was going to happen. So maybe I would change my mind about doing that in real life again. But it looked super nice when I first had it done. But now I feel like I have to have it done again. And it was like, I don't know, when I had it done, I had a job. So I think it was like $300 or $400. And at that point, I was like, I deserve it. I should get it done, whatever. And now I'm like, I ain't got the money for that. So whatever. All right. So, okay. So that's cheating if you do the, if you do the tattoo. So, okay, we can't do that. It is common now in Europe to tattoo eyebrows. True story. Yeah, I know. Tattooing. Okay, Grant says tattooing would be cheating. Carmen's coming through with the one eyebrow. My niece has tattooed eyebrows. Yeah. I did it like 2 years ago. It's not comfortable. She did like 200, it's like a little tiny razor blade with ink, and she just like 200 slices on your eyebrow. I mean, they put the numbing stuff, but it's weird. It doesn't like hurt, but it stings a little, and you could hear it like slicing into your skin. And you have to go back for a touch up, like after I forget how many weeks, but and then she does even more, and it looks good. And when you first get it done, it's like two big caterpillars on your eyes. But I think it was worth it, but I don't know. The things women do to themselves is true. It's so true. Again, I'm like 50-50 if I should have done it like now after a couple years. I'm kind of 50-50. Men do it too. That's true. Oh, like slicing liver. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. All right. So where were we at? Has everybody answered? Is everybody, almost everybody's picking they'd rather have one eyebrow? If you've already answered, you can decide, not decide, but you can put what you think I would choose. You think I'd rather have one eyebrow or green hair for the rest of my life? It would suck to have one eyebrow, but also green hair forever. I don't know. Fake Freedom says I would choose green hair. All right, Flower Girl, you do the green hair. Oh, you think I do the green hair? Okay, Grant thinks I'll do the green hair. You and Fake Freedom agree. Van Life thinks I will do the one eyebrow. Moni thinks I would do the one eyebrow. All right, has everybody put in there what you think? Indeed, I do have tats though. Oh, that'd be interesting conversation, tattoos. We will talk about that in a future live stream. I don't have any, so that'd be a short live stream. Except for my eyebrows. All right, so I would actually choose to have one eyebrow. Sorry, most of you guys thought I would do the green hair, but I don't think that I'd want green hair forever. I think I would rather just have one eyebrow, and I agree with whoever said you can just draw it on. I know you can't tattoo, that'd be cheating, but I think drawing, that's just like if you have green hair, you could wear a hat or a scarf or like cover it with like, something. And with one eyebrow, you could at least just like kind of like do it. Or you could wear an eye patch. I don't know. Teaches me for listening to Fake Freedom. Sometimes you guys are right together and sometimes not so right. I think green hair would be cool to do like once in a while, but I don't think I'd like to have that forever. Like I'm already, like I love my blonde hair, but I'm kind of thinking about getting off of it a little bit and going back towards my like browner hair, because when I get back on the road, I'm not going to want to keep getting the blonde maintained. And you can already tell it's like, grown out so much. Oh, the salons are back open, and my hair salon called me and they're like, we're back open when you ready to come get your hair done. And I was like, I mean, right now, all I'm doing is just working on my van and I'm not going to be leaving for a while. So I think I'm going to wait. And so I made my next appointment for October. So it's going to look a little bit crazy in the videos for a while. I have a dragon and German national bird and roll with Fishland on my arms. Oh, okay, cool. So you're really into the green. You would pick one eyebrow. Yes. I would go with the one eyebrow. Maybe start a trend. I don't know. All right, we got two more questions. Okay. We're going to have a name change. Everyone's getting a name change. So your new name can either be Little Caesar or Big Mac. Which one would you choose? So your new name is either going to be Little Caesar or Big Mac. Which one would you choose? Grant, Big Mac for sure. Fake Freedom, Little Caesar, pizza. Van Life, Big Mac. It's so funny to think about calling somebody, hey, Little Caesar, hey, Big Mac. That's funny. Anybody else? Monique says Big Mac. And if you've already voted, you could say what you think that I would change my name to. Little Caesar or Big Mac. I think both of those are funny names. And I also really love Little Caesar's pizza. And I also like to have a Big Mac every once in a while, but not really so much because of the meat. A Flower Girl says Little Caesar. It's Italian. Little Caesars has this new, I don't know if you have seen it on TV. They have this new pizza. It's like a pizza. It's like half of it's pizza, and the other half is like these little like rectangle breadsticks, like cheesy breadsticks, which I think is a smart idea, and it's $6. We were gonna get that last night, but it was like a 45-minute wait, so I didn't get to try it after all. But I think it sounds delicious. For you, same as me. All right. Fake Freedom says Little Caesar for me. I don't think I would want to have the word Lil associated with me. I don't know. Like I think I wouldn't mind being called either of those things. I think it'd be like, hey, what's up, Little Caesar? Hey, what's up, Big Mac? Like, I don't think I'd mind either of those names. So I don't know which one I would like better. I don't know. Anyone else want to vote? We only got a couple votes here. Okay, Van Life rocks Little Caesar. Oh, you think I would choose Little Caesar? I'm going to say the opposite of Fake Freedom. All right, so you think I would be called Big Mac? All right. Monique, do you think I would want to be called Big Mac? I know. I was trying to ignore that bird. I wonder if I could show. Let's see. Hold. Let me see if this bird is close enough. Well, it wasn't close enough to show you guys, but it was kind of just like close enough to hear, but not super close. These birds are so loud around here. Oh, it sounds like it's in the room. I mean, it's pretty close to my window. There's like a little pond, this little pond thingy right outside of my window. And the pond like attracts bees and birds and rabbits and stuff because they like to come around and, you know, drink their water. But they're loud. Some of the birds are loud. I'm only 4'11", so I would be low Mac. That's funny. Low Mac. That's a good one. Sometimes I wish I was like shorter. I think everyone's like, we all want, certain times we want something we don't have. Like, especially like sleeping in my car, there was plenty of times where I was just like, I wish I was like not 5'7". I wish I was like 5'2", and then I could fit so nicely in this back seat. But that didn't happen. The bird, not travel snacks. Friends. Oh, not travel snacks, friends. All right. So I would choose, even though I like Little Caesar's food better, we're not talking about that. So, but I think I'd like to be called Big Mac. I think that'd be like a more cool name to be like, what up, Big Mac? Be like, yeah, what's up? What's up? Yes, I think I will go with Big Mac. That'd be, especially like driving in my van, I'd be like, hey, Big Mac, there goes Big Mac down the road. That's such a funny name to me. Also, Little Caesar, like to call somebody that. Man, when I was like going to junior college, some of these people had some funny nicknames. Like I went to school with somebody that his name was Chill, somebody whose name was Frosty. There was like somebody's name was Smooth. I'm like, this is so funny. Like people have like funny nicknames, but I don't think there was anybody named Big Mac or Little Caesar. I know. Yeah, I would be called Big Mac. They'd be like, there goes Big Mac driving in the van. All right, so this is going to be our last question. So if you guys have any questions for me beyond these would you rathers, or if you have anything to share, holler it out now, because this is going to be our last question. And actually, before we get to the last question, what is everybody going to do tonight? Do you guys have any plans for tonight or this long weekend? Because it is a holiday in the US and Canada. I don't know about other countries. Let me know, but I don't think so. I don't really have any plans, like holiday plans. My plan's just to continue to work on the van. Tomorrow is going to be fiberglassing day, and then Monday, maybe like finishing up what we don't finish. And then I need to start getting my supplies together for the floor, I think. So no big plans. What about you guys? Van life rocks. Beach, the heat. I wish I was at the beach, actually. And one of the reasons why I chose to go away last week is because of that very reason. I didn't want to be out with the truck and camper, or out in general with so many people. Not because of COVID, just because people. Just regardless of anything, when there's a holiday weekend, I don't like to go because it's hard to find parking, and people like tend to party and get crazy, and it's just not my scene. So that's why I wanted to go last week, and now I'm glad I did, because now I don't have to really go anywhere. Um, but yeah. Grant, zero plans. I have no life. You have a life. You have Snack Chat Saturday. And Fake Freedom's going to still be working on repairs. Flower Girl, I'll take my Chihuahua to like, ooh, that sounds nice. That sounds nice. Chill, I just start my new job Tuesday. Oh, okay, cool. Monique, are you still in your car? Where are you? Are you in Florida? What's happening? I feel like you've been gone for a little bit. Things have been crazy. Like, everyone's just all up in the air. And yeah, congratulations. Thanks, Grant, for reminding me to say congrats. That's awesome. I know that everybody, like, there was some up and downs with people's jobs, and some of you were getting like let go or laid off, and there's just been like so many ups and downs across the board. So I'm glad you were able to get your new job. Does that change things for you, or are you still gonna like be in your car? Or been traveling, just got back from Sarasota, still going to be in my car. Okay, awesome. I'm glad to hear that, because I know that you were like really preparing so much for the car life, and I'm glad to hear that you're still going to like push through and do that. But I'm glad you got a job too, because hey, you got to have money to eat and have gas and stuff like that. Our office reopens at 50% on Tuesday, but my department will continue working from home. Okay, well, that's good. Do you prefer that? Do you prefer working from home, or do you like to go back to the office? I don't like working in offices. It's like funny because like I like people, but also when I'm working on stuff, I don't like to be interrupted. And I noticed like when I used to work in offices, there would be a lot of chatter and like a lot of interruptions and a lot of sometimes welcomed interruptions, like, okay, I don't want to work anymore, and just talking. But sometimes you'd be like focusing, and then like somebody would come say something to you, and then you stop, and just I did not prefer office life. I didn't prefer it. I think there's sometimes where I was like, this is cool, but most of the time, not. Carmen, no plans, just chilling. Chilling's good. I'm blessed. I'm I'm a widow, but that's okay. I don't need to work, and life is comfortable, very blessed. Hallelujah. That's good. Um, I'm glad that you're blessed, and you're able to chill and kind of relax. And sorry for your loss also. I know you say it's okay, but I know that's got to be very difficult. I'm more productive from home. Yeah, I would say I'm more productive as well from home. Are you saving for a camper? Good question. Good question. Saving for a van. Yes. Yeah, I didn't like I like right now this whole like van build has been like um slow going. So I've lost a little bit of my excitement for the van, but I do recommend like if you well, first of all, I think I mentioned it in other videos, but if you want to get a van, I always encourage people to live in your car for a little bit, or live in a van if you can, like, I don't know, rent one or borrow one, or like, family member, friend that has a camper. Or I recommend living in a vehicle before you purchase anything. And I think that's great, Monique, that you are living in your car and you know that you want a van, because it's not for everybody. And even just being in the camper, it like really illuminated my vision for what it's going to be more so like, um, in a sense. And I was like, man, like this is like becoming very real, that I'm going to be living in a van. And it's not for everybody. So I always encourage to stick with car life or something before you purchase something. So I think that's great, Monique. He's in heaven, so okay. God is good. God is good all the time. And that's beautiful. I've been like, I read my Bible every morning, and I've been really just like studying so much of just all the stuff. And I think at some point I'm going to make a video or talk about it, but just like I've been learning so much of how much deceit there is in the world. And like, I've already known that, but like, there's so much more that I'm learning and God is revealing to me. So it's just interesting. So stay in your Bibles and stay in prayer. You have to keep it simple. Amen. Amen. All right. So let's go on to the next and final question. And I made, before we go to the next question, I made some potato cheese. So random. Let me show you a picture of it. So you know how like vegans have, like you can make vegan cheese out of cashews or like nuts and stuff. But when you're trying to like lose fat, it's not a good idea to eat like a bunch of avocados and like nuts and stuff. Those are good healthy fats, but you don't want to eat like all you can eat because you're just going to keep getting a lot of calories. So I found a recipe to make potato cheese. It's made out of potatoes. And I made it, and I haven't put it on anything yet, but I dipped my finger in it, and it's pretty good, but it looks like this. I got it off a site called High Carb Hannah, and I recommend that if you are thinking about a plant-based diet, you should go to her YouTube because that channel has really helped me to start eating more healthfully. And she's got a lot of good recipes on her YouTube channel. I don't know her at all, but just when I was looking at recipes, she's had a lot of good recipes. High Carb Hannah. And so it looks like this. It's like almost like a nacho cheese. And it's made with like red potatoes, carrots, onion, and then like a bunch of seasonings, a little nutritional yeast, and what else did I put in there? So, oh, and some miso, which is weird. But you just blend it all up, and it like in my fridge, I have that right now, and it looks like that. And so, another recipe she has is this hash brown broccoli bake. So you put like the frozen hash browns, mix that cheese in there, put the broccolis, bake it for like 40 minutes, and then you can like put more cheese on top and let it like caramelize kind of, and then you eat that hash brown bake, and that could be a good breakfast. So I don't know why I got on that, but I was just thinking about what I did this afternoon. Fried potato pancakes with honey barbecue sauce. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Looks good and sounds great. Yeah, like some of these recipes they sound weird, but I've been trying new things, and so far so good. So I'll let you guys know maybe next week how that potato cheese is on potato. It's funny because my mouth is watering, which is weird, but I think I want to have some of that. It's funny because you're basically putting potatoes on potatoes because the cheese is primarily made out of potatoes, like blended, and then you're putting it on hash browns, which is more potatoes. So it's a very hearty situation. So I'll let you guys know how it turns out. All right, so the final question is, this one's a weird one. All right. So would you rather have legs as long as your fingers? So little bitty, or fingers as long as legs? So that'd be like, your fingers would be dragging on the ground. You'd have the longest fingers. Think of like some women that have those long, big nails, but think of it like being like so much bigger than that. So, but otherwise, you're going to have tiny little legs. The recipe. Can you take a screenshot? I can. Here's the, well, if you want to take a screenshot of that, and then I'll scroll up and show you the actual. I hope this isn't infringing on somebody's like copyright rights. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to share it. And again, it came off of a site called High Carb Hannah. High Carb Hannah. She also has a YouTube channel. Here's the ingredients. If that, and then here's the instructions. It says this too, like they, you know, how she serves it. Hopefully you got that, but if not, just after this is over, you can kind of scroll back and take your screenshots. So otherwise, go to highcarbhannah.com/recipes and you'll see all her good recipes. Okay. Okay, fake freedom. You'd want fingers as long as legs. You would be unbelievably balanced. That's actually a good point. I never even thought of that. Okay. Oh, that's okay, Carmen. Hopefully you got that. Grant, fingers as long as legs. Grant, I'm only 5'6", so they would be great for reaching top shelves. That's a good point too. That's a good point too. Monique, fingers as long as my legs. Flower Girl, I have seen both, and these poor people live very difficult lives. But if I had to, legs as short as my fingers and one super hot wheelchair. Red, of course. You'd be like, woo, just move out of my way. Okay. Fingers as long as legs. You can run everywhere. That's true. I guess you'd be like a monkey, like orangutan type of thing. Like you could really get it popping. You could be your own hammock with fingers long as legs. That's true. That is true. Man, you'd have some strong, let's see, if your fingers were as long as legs. I wonder if it'd get in the way though. Like you'd have to type, like your computer would be like way down. These are fingers, not arms. These are fingers. So your fingers would be as long as your legs. Good point. So legs as long as your fingers. That would be a very, like, what was that movie called where they shrunk? Was it called Shrunk? No, it's called Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. You'd be like so little like that, but with a regular sized body. But also, if you had fingers, that'd be so hard either way. Imagine how long it would take to walk anywhere with legs as long as you. Yeah. Also, now that we're just discussing this, you wouldn't be able to drive unless you had one of those like hand you know how they have like the one you can do the hand gas or whatever, or the hand brakes, because your legs would be just so tiny. So that'd be difficult. But they would both be difficult. This is a hard one for me. I don't know which one I want to choose. Or try walking upstairs. No, you couldn't. You'd be like trying to jump up on the next ledge. You would have to have a helper. You'd have to have somebody carrying you around for sure. All right. You're going to say same as me, so I can get at least 2 right today. All right, let's see. All right. What do you guys think I'm going to say? Most people with thalidomide drive with attachments on their car vents. Yeah, I've seen those attachments. on cars. So I know they have them. So you could, it's not like you couldn't do it, but you would have to have somebody help you to get into the car because, well, unless you had like a lift, because that's like, I mean, think of it. Like, look at your fingers. Those would be your legs. I wonder if you would, I mean, this is just hypothetical, so we're just making this up, but I mean, I think your little finger legs wouldn't be able to support your body, but maybe this is just fake. You'll say fingers as long as legs, okay? Van Life Rocks are leaving. Van Life Rocks is getting out to there to that beach. That's what. Practical though, how do you blow your nose, clean your ears? That's true. Have a good time though, Van Life Rocks. Have a good time at the beach and think of us as we're in the definite heat. I don't know which one I want to choose. You guys picked so fast. I don't know. Man, how would you even drive with longest fingers? Like, look at your legs and think about how long your fingers would be. All right. I think I've decided. Which ones do you guys, which one do you think that I would choose for those that hasn't responded yet? All right, everybody's answered already? All right, I think I'm going to disappoint somebody. Let me see what you guys said. Oh, let's see. Okay, so Flower Girl says long fingers. I would actually choose legs as long as your fingers. I know, I'm disappointing some of you, but I got to tell the truth. You guys make some good points, but I know, it's shocking. I know. But I think of it like this, like think about how long your fingers would be. You would have such a hard time doing anything. Like you'd have to like say even opening a jar. Who are you? What have you done? I know, but think of it. Think of it. Your fingers are like, I can't even get it in the camera. Your fingers would be like this long. Say if you like wanted to just like have your phone is just like all the way over here. Or like if you wanted to open a jar, you would be like so far. You'd be bumping into things all the time. Like you couldn't even just be like, if you pushed a cart at the grocery store, you'd be like way out. And like even driving, you'd have to like position your seat, take out that seat and push it all the way back because your hands would have to be like this, like on the steering wheel. But with like little finger legs, yeah, you're gonna have to have help. But I think you could figure more things out, I think, personally. Like I said, you could get a lift, you could get, the driving attachments, you could, I don't know what. They make all kinds of things. I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to disappoint. If you had little finger legs, you aren't reaching that cart. That's true. That's true. But maybe you could make like a little carriage or like a little homemade cart. You could make like your own cart. Okay, you could get, I don't know what. I don't know what. You're right. You'd have such a hard time reaching shelves. Like you'd have regular hands though. I don't know. This is a hard one for me. It's a hard one. Nonsense. I know it is nonsense. All right. Well, good luck taking an elevator. That would be so. I'm going to be thinking about this the rest of the day. I would be like, did I make the wrong choice? All right. Well, I think that's all I have. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I think because I was gone for a week, I had so much to tell you, and I did share my whole story, but I feel like there's so much more I want to say. But I think it's gonna be it for me today. I think I'm going to go maybe get a snack, and then I think I'm just gonna chill because tomorrow's gonna be a big day of fiberglassing, and it's kind of exhausting. So I think I'm gonna rest for the rest of the evening. So Fake Freedom says, God bless you all in Jesus' name, amen. This was fun, good. I'm glad. You're welcome. We do this every Saturday. We usually just talk a lot, and then we have our little game at the end. So hopefully you'll come back again. Have a great week and weekend and holiday weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. Stay blessed. And thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for all the Snack Fund donations. It's truly appreciated. And blessings to every one of you. And I will see you guys next Saturday. Talk to you then. Bye for now.